poppin'? We're here in the penthouse, Spicy Hollywood.
Yo, so one, Austin, always a pleasure seeing you.
Same here, man.
Here in Swaggy C's, yo, this is the biggest penthouse in this building. Like, I would act like this is my first time being here. It's not but like this is a crazy penthouse.
My man.
I remember months ago when we were mansion shopping, and then whole ordeal, and then it turned into, hey, you couldn't get the apartment you wanted, and then now you have the biggest penthouse in the building. So salute. That's big.
My man.
We're not supposed to cheers in water, but all right, I'm gonna raise a glass though. I'm gonna raise a glass.
Nah, y'all know me. I don't drink or smoke. Never did in my life.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy how God works, and He blessed us with this place where this wasn't even in our vision when we were mansion shopping. Because both of you guys were there on episode, what was it, episode 4 or 3?
Episode 4, yeah.
Episode 4.
Whole ordeal.
And a few months later, God got us this. So it's like, I can only be grateful. So happy to be here, man.
Swaggy, I got a question. So I know that a lot of people see your success now, right? And it's very easy to paint a picture of success and show kind of where you are right now, and it impresses me, you know what I mean? However, did you yourself see yourself being here not even 5 years ago or 10? Like, did you see this happening? Like, actually, I know we all have visions and we all have like aspirations of greatness, but did you actually see this like 5 years ago?
Yeah, so it's crazy because I don't want to sound cocky or anything in general, but I definitely envisioned it. Like I laugh with Bailey all the time because I look at my tweets from high school from 2011 and 2012, and I was just a reckless kid in high school, man. But I have all my tweets saying, mark my words, 10 years from now, I'll be the richest kid to graduate from the school, because I was a class clown. I had a 2.1 GPA my sophomore year, not because I was slow or stupid, but because I just was cutting class and was trying to be the cool kid. It never really, worked. But I knew that I was gonna be, rich and successful one day because I had a different, element just about me when it comes to work. Like whatever it was about me, people around me knew that I put like 1,000,000% into it. Like I didn't touch a basketball until I was 15 years old. And then the next year I'm starting varsity because those 365 days where, my friend Codrick McDonald put like a basketball in my hands, I was obsessed with it for that year, and then boom. So they knew that whatever I put my mind into, it would have worked. And it's a funny story because I was with my ex-girlfriend when I was 18 years old, and we were in Philadelphia, and we were sitting by the Rocky Steps, and some guy, I tell the story all the time, it's crazy. I don't even know if you've ever heard it before, but some guy in a black Suburban drove by us, spun the block, and came and then stopped right in front of us, got out the car, and he was like, "What's your name?" Like, "My name's Chris." And he asked her name, then he just said, I'm like a prophet, or I have a vision about you. Like, you're gonna be a multimillionaire, you're gonna be successful, you're gonna create a huge business or multiple businesses and be a good, investor. She's not gonna be here with you while you experience it all. Directly in her face.
You
dead.
never told me that story.
I never bro, dead in her face. Bro, this is a girl I've been with for 5 years, and he dead in her face saying, yeah, you're gonna be a multimillionaire, you're not gonna be here.
She's out.
He literally gave me his card and then drove off. And to this day, I wish I had that card, because when he left, she ripped it up and threw it in the ocean or whatever.
Of course you did.
What you mean?
Yeah.
And I get it, because I would have done the same thing if it was vice versa, but that just shows you that I've had people speak over me for a very long time. So I figured I'd be here. I didn't think I'd be here by 25, even though his exact words were, "You will be here by 25, and if you don't, it's your own fault and nobody else's." So I always kept that in my mind. I tweeted about it the minute it happened. I can, Austin could probably pull the tweet up in a B-roll, but no, when people speak over your life, I'm pretty sure you have people speak over your life as well. Listen to them and use it as motivation. That's all I did, so.
As someone who knows you personally, right? Do you ever just take a moment to yourself to appreciate and just be proud of what you've accomplished? Because I've seen you, I've seen where you've gone in a very short window of time, and the big change that's happened in your life. And I feel like you're not rushing through it, but it's happening so fast. Like, are you actually taking time to be like, yo, I did that, and I did that? Or is it just kind of it's still just coming so fast? No,
I actually, that's one of my faults, is that I never take the time to sit down and look at myself and be like, yo, I've accomplished this, when just 4 years ago I was, reading every single book I could do and waking up at 5 in the morning to get here. And it's I don't know if it's a thing, you know, with me or people like me, because I feel like you guys like me as well. But like when you have a concrete goal and you get there, it's like, all right, I'm a you know, living it for a day. But then it's like, nah, either I gotta retain it or I gotta get to the next thing. But
to the next one.
when I say this all the time, when I made my first 100,000, I was, you know, I just had an interview with TJ. I went to his crib a few days ago. I told him, he asked me, how did it feel to make your first million? And I was just like, bro, I was more excited over 100,000 than a million. Once I made 100,000 in 6 figures, it was like, wow, like I really made 6 figures. Once I hit a million, it took me so long to hit 100K, and then I hit a million like a month and a half after that. Because it's like, now your mind is at least open to like the possibilities, and you just grind. But no, like I get to one goal, and then I'm just like, all right, cool. I made a Snapchat on my birthday this year, and I said, if I can make this much money, you know, throughout the year, I guarantee you I will celebrate my birthday, because everybody knows I'm notorious for not celebrating my birthday. I will work, you know, on my birthday like it's a regular day, and then maybe go to dinner or something, but that's it. And I made that 2 months after that. Like my goal for the year, I made it 2 months after that, and I forgot about it until I looked at my archive stories, and I was just like, wow, I did have this goal. Why am I so stupid to like never sit still? So I don't know. I think I'm like working on it over time, but it's getting better. You know, Bailey gets on me all the time for never sitting down and, you know, taking a break or going to Mexico. Because even in Mexico,
we gonna get to Bailey. Don't
you
worry.
know how she is.
We gonna get to Bailey.
We went to Mexico, and I was still trying to work out there, and she's like, we here for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I try to get better with it.
All right. So
you know,
I think we're gonna, because we kind of catapulted into something, but I want to make sure we address like the elephant in the room, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're sitting with arguably the number one, the hottest, the best.
Not arguably, we are, baby.
The best Forex trader, you know, online that anyone has seen. And this isn't like, okay, I mean, sure, there are people that, you know, I'm sure there's people that have made billions, right?
Right. Yeah.
But to see what you've accomplished and then the attention that you've brought to Forex trading, like, what do you think was your secret sauce that, like, well, first, before we even get into that, like, what was it that got you into Forex trading? Because that's not something, when you're in school, I don't remember ever being in school and anyone ever telling me about Forex trading. So
to touch on the first thing you said, you know, we are the #1 YouTube channel in the world when it comes to this industry. Like, nobody is, you know, in our opinion, better than us. Everybody, you know, and we'll touch on the topic later, but everybody, you know, obviously copies us and our style and stuff. I think I'm an excellent trader. I don't think I'm the best. You know, I've learned from several people. I know George Soros, who I never even learned from him, but I know he made millions, and I don't know if he made billions, but like a lot of money in this. I would consider Sean from Astro a better trader than me, and even Quillian from FIP. Quillian just made $1 million last week trading US 30. He's a different breed. But I think the difference with me is I make trading cool. I think that's where I stand out with a lot of people. People feel like they can relate to me, you know, a lot more. And that's, you know, how we become, you know, the #1 channel, because there's people out there with, like, you know, talk about with 600K subscribers in this industry, but they've been posting for 6 years and they only get 4,000 views per video. Whereas me and Austin, I've been trading for 5 years, and I'll touch on how I got started, but we just started the channel this year, and we're almost at 200,000 subscribers, and every single video is a pop, goes. How I first got started was, like, I was in a cafeteria at my college in New Jersey, St. Peter's University, and I was watching a battle rap. But before the battle rap went on, you know, Ty Lopez, it's crazy. Everybody knows who Ty Lopez is, but an ad of his came on, and he was just like, "Here in my garage." That's when, like, the infamous "Here in my garage" commercial came on. Like, that's when he, like, first came out. Like, when Ty was that dude, you feel me? So it came out, but the first 5 seconds, I guess, intrigued me to not skip an ad. I usually skip every single ad on YouTube.
It was a Lambo.
It was a Lambo.
Yeah,
It was a guy, something crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't skip the ad. I watched it, and he had a whole seminar. You know, obviously the 3-minute pitch. I watched the entire seminar, and he never mentioned Forex trading in there. He just mentioned having a better life, not being, you know, going around with the stigma of, or the dogma, whatever, of college. Yeah, financial freedom, all of that. And looking into that and starting to read books caused me to like find Forex. And my boy, Shy, actually put me on to trading as well in 2015. And then once I got my hands on it, I knew this was gonna be something I was gonna be great at because, like I told you earlier, like whenever I find something that I love, I start to become obsessive over it. And I didn't see an end goal to college. I was already 110,000 in debt. I wasn't playing, I was at a D1 school, but I wasn't playing. So I was like, all right, I'm not going overseas. And even the best player on my team, when I was there, went overseas and he wasn't making no money. So I'm just like, okay, the best player on my team, who's miles better than me, didn't even get a tryout for the NBA. What do I look like working hard every single day to try to chase a dream? Nope, I'm gonna move over here. And that's kind of how I came across Forex. And 5 years later, I'm here, but I just, at that point, I made a decision to be great at that,
So I think you just kind of glanced over something that is a jewel I just took away from that, and I think a lot of people missed that. You just said that you realized that you weren't the best player on your team, and the guy better than you wasn't going to go to the league.
Yeah.
So then instead of you grinding and just keep doing it for naught, you switched gears and were like, yo, I'm going to find something else.
Yeah.
So is that like a philosophy that you've taken kind of across your life, and that advice you would give to other people? Like, hey, if you realize like, hey, there's a cap for what I'm doing right now, let me refocus and then maybe I'll find my lane. Because that's what you found. You invested your time after that, and then you found Forex trading. And then, obviously it wasn't an instant overnight success, but you found something that you could be great at with a better potential than, your basketball career.
Yeah, for me, I think that's the main reason why I became successful. Like the only reason is my ability to adapt. I call it quitting, like simple as that. Like people have a hard time when it comes to quitting. And even I do as well, but like I kind of use adjusting and quitting as the same thing. It's like I basically quit college to chase a dream. I quit playing basketball to go somewhere else. So I think that's the reason why I became successful, is my ability to, audit a situation, when it came to basketball. Like when I left high school, I went from 2 points per game to 15 my senior year. And then I was like, all right, cool, I can go to this school, and then eventually find my way to a D1 school. And then that's when I realized, okay, everything's advanced. All of these people are good. Like every single one of them was the best player on their team in high school. And I wasn't even the best player on my team in high school. I felt like I was the second best. And I realized, like I said, that the people who were starting and averaging 20 weren't going to it wasn't like we were Kentucky, we were St. Peter's, a mid-major or a low D1 school. So I realized that, all right, what am I gonna do? Just go through college, my 4 years in college, play basketball, do what I gotta do, and then graduate with debt, and then figure things out? It's like, no, I had to figure things out right then and there. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? You don't have to go to college from 18 to 22. I can go to college at 37 and try to make something of my life. You know what I mean? So I just quit and, tried this thing out. I told my mom, I sat her down, and I said, I'm going to learn how to become a day trader and an investor and go this entrepreneur route. I'm dropping out of college. Just like a situation like this at a kitchen table, I said, you can either support me or you can not support me, but I'm gonna do this regardless. It's not up for a decision. It's not your choice. It's what I'm doing, and I'm asking you to support me or not. And she chose to support me, and it paid off. But no, I think that's the reason I became successful.
You really kind of took that same approach with reality TV as well, because
I forgot about that.
For 2-3 years, and then you saw that it wasn't giving you the results that you wanted, so you adapted and then executed a new plan. And so how do you think that reality TV is kind of playing into creating content on YouTube or teaching people Forex?
I think with me, it's like, I don't even think reality TV helped me create content, because if you see any of my Snapchat videos from 2013, when Snapchat first came out, I was doing crazy stuff. Swaggy C vlog, current status, all right, we're about to make a movie, and then you would have hated me on Snapchat, because bro, I swear,
was wondering where that came from. Swaggy C vlog, current status?
Yeah, current, every single, bro, you would have hated me on Snapchat, because my 10-second stories would literally be, I don't know, 500 seconds long, which means like bro, I swear on everything I love, bro, like 50 to 75 snaps, and it'd be a story. Like it'd be like, all right, I'm walking in the crib. All right, like it'd be like skits and stuff. I was always doing that. Like that's why when I auditioned for Big Brother, I threw those clips into my audition, tape, because I was always the entertaining, kind of guy. And then reality TV, just like I talked about being successful, I quit once I realized it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do for me. I audited the entire situation, which is what, like I said, my strong suit. I realized people are on the same show, whether CBS, with Big Brother, okay, you're on it one time, maybe twice, or The Challenge or anything on MTV related, you're on it for 10 years. They're not doing much with their lives. And it's not me judging them. They will tell you themselves, I'm not happy, just doing this for a check. And I'm the type of person to not stay in a situation just because it's comfortable. I don't like being comfortable, So I saw them their 9th year, their 11th season, their 5th season, and they're not doing anything. And then on top of that, all the drama that's filled, I don't like, people think I just love drama. I hate drama. I go on these shows and everybody would do anything for $500,000 or splitting, $250,000. And they will risk their morals, their characteristics. They don't care. And I said to myself, this is not worth, this much money. And on top of that, this is not what I want to do. So I'm going to go back to focusing on what I want to do. And I think reality TV kind of set me back a little bit because I was trading for 3 years at that point, and then I got on reality TV. Let's take, meeting my wife out of that for a second. I was just starting to become profitable in trading because I was a babysitter, and the first 2 years I was blowing accounts, and then my 3rd year I'm like, all right, I'm making $4,000 a month, I'm making $6,000 a month. Oh, I just had a 10K, yo, I'm lit right now. And then I get an opportunity to go on TV, and I meet my wife, and then when you get off these shows, you get the followers, and you think that's what you want. So I thought I was gonna be the next craziest reality star. So all right, this Forex trading that I once loved, nah, let me adjust that and leave that and go this reality route. And it was a few short months later, I realized this wasn't for me, and I just literally quit probably a year later and focused full time on this. It's crazy.
So let me ask you this. So I've also been on a reality show, so I know kind of what it's like to be on a show. I know life after a show. What do you think is the biggest, when the curtain got pulled back? You said you were a fan of Big Brother, you used to watch it since you were 8, and you're like, oh, I love this. This. And you so much so that you auditioned, you end up getting on, you had that experience. Obviously, you met Bailey there, so you took away, probably the best prize you could take away from that experience, right? But what do you think, after being on a show, changed your mentality that made it go, you know what, this is not what I thought life post-show would be? What do you think changed?
Yeah, for me, it was a few things. Number one was I realized the producers don't care about you. They act like they do. There may be one or two in the smaller roles who generally care about you, but the majority of them do not. You're literally a prop on their show to make them money, and then that's it. Because I realized after I got off the show, all the I love you, it was one of the best seasons ever, it's great. I didn't hear from them for another year when they needed me to host something in Fiji because it fit their narrative for the show. There was no Christmas text of, yo, Swaggy and Bailey, Merry Christmas. There was no birthday. It was nothing except for maybe one producer. So I realized that, okay, they don't care. And then I get on the challenge and we're in, freezing weather and we're waiting an hour before the competition starts, just standing there, and then we're due the competition, then we gotta wait an hour afterwards, and then we're peeing in porta potties, and the showers don't work, and they're only cold, and there's so much drama. They give us terrible food, and they're like, just deal with it. And it's like, I don't gotta deal with this, you know what I mean, at all, you know what I mean? So that's when I realized that the curtain got pulled back. This reality stuff is not as glamorous as people make it seem, and this, like I said, that's the reason why I quit. I'm not gonna stay in something that I don't like. And I said it's a few reasons. That's probably the main reason why it got pulled back from me. Oh, actually, the second reason is the people, because there's some people that you meet that are cool and genuine, but the most are competing with you, consciously and subconsciously. They're all competing with you. When you're on the same level as you, they're happy. I've lost more friends in my success right now than I've had when I was barely making money and on reality TV.
Are these reality show friends?
Yes.
Or just friends, period?
Yes, no, reality show friends. Friends, period. My friends from high school still the same, even college. There's some people in college who I guess envy a little bit, who I don't talk to as much, who I was close with, but no, I've had more reality show friends, which is me and Bailey in Kansas City, than right now when I'm the happiest I've ever been. And you would think more people are just like, yeah, we're happy for you.
So how do you deal with knowing that there were people that ostracized you because, for a while you were a leopard, right? Yeah. And all of a sudden, when you started popping, those same people were like, hey man, I found your phone number again. Like, what's that experience like?
Well, first things first, this is why I change my phone number every 3 or 4 months. And you guys know that I change it literally every 3 or 4 months. Like, I never have the same number. But two, no, it's a weird thing, and a lot of my messages get left unread in my DMs, or I just won't open them if I see the name, because, like I said, it's not just one person, it's a lot of people who, didn't follow me then, but all of a sudden they follow me now, or didn't like me then when I followed. There was somebody in the reality world as well, and I want to get off the reality topic in a second, but she made a blog and she killed me. Like, I mean, killed me in the blog. Like, Bailey's an idiot. I don't know why she's with this clown and blah, 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 blah. She did like a challenge preview of like who's gonna be on the show, and killed me of like how unsmart I am and everything.
Wow.
And just 2 months ago, before I deleted my Twitter, she was in my DM saying, hey Swag, I'm thinking about purchasing the Swag Academy. I feel like you have so much wisdom and you could really help me out, in life right now when it comes to, business and entrepreneur stuff. Do you mind if we jump on a quick call so I can ask you some questions before I make the purchase?
And this is the same person.
I swear on my dad's grave.
Killed you
I
in a
swear on my
blog.
dad's grave. She must have had amnesia.
Yo, that's wild.
She must have had amnesia or forgot, because all I did, my petty self, I said, hey, I hope you have a great day.
Screenshot.
Tell me you sent a link to the blog.
No, I didn't send a link. I screen recorded it, so there's no link. So the minute she opens it, it's that. I'm like, hey, you said something about me a few months ago. I was unsmart then. I don't know how I got smart all of a sudden now, but I hope you have a great day. And that was it. And she never responded. But she read it. She never responded. So like, long story short, dealing with that, it's like there's some people who, people are busy. So I don't fault certain people for like checking up on me every now and then I guess checking up on me excessively a little bit more now. Actually, I do blame them a little bit. But I know like people are busy. They're not checking on me because they don't like me. They trying to grind and figure out their way too, you know what I mean? And now they figured out that I am who I am now. Maybe they want to come to me for advice on how I got here, which everybody knows me, I'm an open book. Anybody wants to talk to me about their business plan, their ideas, I will do that in a second. But no, it's tough dealing with people who didn't care about you and all of a sudden do. Like people from high school who I haven't talked to in 10 years. I just told you, somebody commented on my picture a few days ago, yo, you got the same number? Bro, I have not talked to you since I graduated.
I'm about to call you.
Wait, were y'all at least boys in high school?
We were cool. Like, yo,
just
what's
cordial
up?
though.
But it wasn't like a me and you. It wasn't like no.
Yeah.
Wasn't because all my homies from high school got my number. Every time it changes, I'm texting, yo, my number changed, even in high school. But it's people who will hit me up out of nowhere, like, yo, your number changed, and if I don't respond, it's like, yo, you Hollywood now, bro. I just don't got time to deal with dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
what's wrong with being Hollywood?
Like, you know what I mean? I just don't got time for it. So it's just a weird sentiment. I'm gonna take these chains off. I apologize.
I know it's heavy, right? Let's talk about that for a second, though. I mean, that's like, what is that? Like 100,000 worth of jewelry right there?
Yeah, it's 107, I think.
$107,000 worth of jewelry. You have somehow found a way to blow up 2020 to a point where you are the name in Forex trading. Like, not only are you doing well for yourself, but like publicly, the story's out there. We see it because we see the stories, we see the Instagram lives, we see the Swag Academy blown up. Like, we're seeing everything. But a year ago, it wasn't popping like this. So like, what's that dynamic like?
Because I was too focused on reality TV last year. You know what I mean? Like with a wife, I'm just like, all right, reality TV is what it is. But I was still trading last year. Like, everybody knows me in Missouri. I was still a day trader last year, but I wasn't focused on it. I was like trying to balance day trading with reality TV. And it wasn't until I hated the challenge so much that I'm like, you know what? I don't care what I do. Everything I post on social media will be about day trading. Because I want people to see that I'm in love with day trading, not that, yeah, I got called to host Big Brother and I'm on I don't care about that stuff. But it brought the likes and engagement and the social media collabs in. But then when I got off the challenge, I said, nah, I'm just gonna, post about day trading. And I went to VaynerMedia and talked to Gary Vee and his brother Justin, and I asked Gary Vee straight up, I said, yo, I am labeled a reality star right now. How do I transition away from being a reality star into a day trader investor? Because I've been a reality star for 2 years. I've been a day trader for 4. Nobody knows the day trading aspect. Like on CBS, it said, Swaggy C, day trader, but nobody really put that together. And he said, are you The Rock? I said, no. What you mean? I'm confused, bro.
He like,
I'm like,
no.
bro, you talking to me? Like, somebody behind me? And he's like, The Rock was a WWE wrestler, and he literally transformed from that to, you know, one of the highest paid actors in the world. And you're talking about leaving reality TV to be a day trader. You're not talking about already having millions of dollars and known as one of the greatest WWF at the time wrestlers of all time. And now you're trying to go into Hollywood.
That is crazy though, because he had the confirmation of being a WWE wrestler, like financially, through the fans, like
everything.
Everything was set.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "No, I'm gonna cut this and become.
I'm gonna cut
an
it."
actor."
And
Like,
it wasn't like
actually,
it wasn't like he
think
cut
about
it in his when he was old. I'm a big WWF fan. He did it in his prime when he was, you know, I think a 5-time champion at the time, and it was him against Austin, you know, Stone Cold all the time, back and forth. And he's like, "All right, I'm done. I'm going to." It wasn't like he was old or kept getting injured. He just left.
I think at this point it's safe to say more people know you from Forex than ever knew you from reality TV.
I think it's
like, forget the fact that CBS has, you know, however many views and the challenge has however many views, like whatever. But I feel like your name now is synonymous with Forex instead of being reality TV.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you feel like making that transition?
I think the transition is, you know, amazing to me. Like I said, back to the Gary Vee story, I told him I wanted to be more known in the, you know, currency world, even in the stock world, like just investing in general, than reality TV. I don't even want that to be, you know, on my record. Like, yeah, I did it, but I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, Swaggy C, you know, the person who was on Big Brother." Nah, the trader. That's what I wanted. That's when he was like, you know, "Are you The Rock?" And I was like, no. He's like, he had a, you know, much harder time, so you can do it. You know what I mean? So he basically gave me that courage, and you know, his brother Justin gave me the motivation to do it. And he told me, he said, "I don't want to see you post anything about reality TV for the next year." This was in January, I think, of this year. So I started off January and February posting my charts. I went from getting 14,000 likes and 500 comments to 400 likes in 6 comments, and 3 of them from my fake page, Bailey, and you, and somebody, you know what I mean? And it was demoralizing a little bit, being like, yo, am I really making the right decision? But I felt happier at least. And then over time it just grew, and now if I can post just a regular chart, like my face not in it, nothing, a regular chart on Instagram, and get 20, 30,000 likes and 500 comments. I can post anything on the reality TV side and get 3,000 likes, 2,000 likes, because nobody knows me for that anymore. But as far as me, no, I think the difference with me is I make it entertaining, you know, due to my background, the whole Swaggy C vlogs and Snapchat. And I saw a gap in the industry. Like, you gotta realize I've studied Forex for 5-6 years now, and I saw everybody, you know, doing what they're doing, whether it's YouTube or Instagram when it first came out, and they were doing their regular spiel of, yeah, okay, the Forex market, blah, 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 and IML. First of all, I hate IML. We'll get to that later.
No. Let's get into that right now, because I think that's something that, like, I've only been, like, since knowing you, and then even I've known you way longer than I got into Forex, right?
Yeah.
But IML, let's talk about that, because I think that's something that, like, it's gotta.
For the people that don't know what it is.
Yeah. One, let's talk about what it is.
Yeah.
And then 2, there's such a bad taste in everybody's mouth about it now.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about why that is.
So for me, so IML, which is now called IM Academy, is similar to Wealth Generators and Tradera. It's all MLM. And an MLM stands for multi-level marketing, where they teach you how to trade in the market, but you have to sign people up like a whole, you know, pyramid below you, a pyramid scheme below you. And I call it a scam, not because they will take your money and never talk to you. It's not that type of scam, but it's a scam because I feel like they're giving you a false narrative, making it seem like Forex is easy as hell. Forex is hard, like point blank period. Like, central banks trade it, like funds, like everybody trades, you know, in the market, government, everybody. It's hard, you know what I mean? And we're just retail traders. We're lower than all of them. And these people are making it seem like, yeah, you can sit on your couch and get an alert on your phone that says sell, you know, gold at this point, and you can just click it, do nothing. You don't gotta know anything about the market, and you'll make money like that. We have this thing called a wish,
They're
right?
selling hope, really.
Yeah, they're selling hope. We have this thing called a harmonic scanner, and it's a 95% guarantee that you'll win. And if it was anything over 70%, all the biggest banks in the world would pay them billions of dollars to have their methods, because they trade as well. And that's what, all these MLMs do. They prey on these people who are broke in college saying, I guarantee you'll make money in the market. You watch all of my videos, I never guarantee anybody will make money in the market. Even with my academy, I did an interview with TJ, and he was like, if I got somebody who wants to learn how to invest in day trade, do I send them to your academy? I said, hell no. Send them to my YouTube, see if they're even interested in it first, have them watch a bunch of other YouTubers, and if they rock with me as a teacher over somebody else, yes, then go to my program for in-depth, method and strategies on how I trade the market. I don't say my strategies are the best. I say, hey, yeah, I make money in the market, I still lose, but this is my strategies. If you rock with me, want to learn from me, this is what it is. You will never hear me saying, join my course and I guarantee you'll be profitable. And that's what IML does. And I don't stand for that, because it's nothing in this market is a guarantee. Now, you can be great over time if you put the work in, but nothing in this market is a guarantee, like nothing. And they make it seem like that. And that's why, I hate them so much. And that's why I stand for something different, where it's like, you don't see me recruiting nobody. You don't see me saying, yeah, when you join my academy, you got to sign 3 people up and then sign 3 people up, and then I don't make people pay $200 a month every single month, like, a $200 sign up fee and then $200 per month. You are robbing. These people are broke who are joining your academy, and you're making them pay $200 a month, and they don't even know. That's why my course is a one-time payment, and that's it. So that's why, like I said, I just stand for something different, and I make it cool,
Let's talk about that for a second. So IML.
Call it ILM.
Yeah, no, because we're not gonna dump on George Lucas like that for all he did with ILM. So no, we're gonna make sure we say IML. So IML, basically a glorified pyramid scheme, right? Because it's like, hey, I'm gonna kind of know what I'm talking about, but not enough to really teach you. But it's like, hey, you sign up people under you, and then those people sign up people under you, and then you'll make money. And I'm like, so it feels like really like the money's being made off people instead of strategy and learning, like the material.
And which I don't, like I said, like if it wasn't a pyramid scheme, I don't mind them making money, like residual income that they preach about. Like I don't even mind them making money off of quote unquote sharing the information. It's just the information that they're sharing is false. Like if the information that they were sharing was, dope, and they weren't promising copy and paste signals and weren't promising harmonic scanners and a 95% or a 99.9%, guarantee that you'll win, then I have no problem with them, making money off signing people up and then making money off of the information, because the information is valid. They're giving them a clear-cut idea, like, hey, this is pretty hard, but you can try and jump in it and try and change your life. They're trying to guarantee stuff and kind of forcing it down their throats. But that's why I just don't like them or stand for them.
Wild to me that people still think that like get rich quick kind of not schemes, but just ideas still exist and they work. Like they don't.
So you're saying I shouldn't give you $500 for your lotus blossom thing?
Absolutely not. It's like anything that is worthwhile is going to take time. And it's like, that exactly because you've been in this for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
It's like, if you wanted to just sign up and get rich in 2 months, like everybody would do it.
Yeah, everybody would do it. And I mean, they do have a lot of people in their academy. Like they have, I think 1 million or over 500,000. They have like an army with them. I think the CEO is very wealthy, but
not from trading.
Not from that. You know what I mean?
I mean, the word marketing is in the
facts.
So.
And the word marketing is in there, and this is why, like I said, like I don't mind if the information they were teaching was right, and they gave people a clear objective on what to expect, like a clear expectation. I don't mind them making money off people and the information, because they clearly have a foundation. They have no foundation. It's just a bunch of sign up. And
so you brought up a point then. So you don't have a problem with that. So do you think that seeing what they were doing, is that what motivated you? Because obviously everybody knows you have the Swag Academy now. You teach people not only in your pay academy, but you put out a lot of free content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like probably more than most people should on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you put out a ton of free content teaching people. So is that your way of like, I don't want to say getting back at, but like being like, yo, like I don't like what you're doing. Let me show people that like this is what you should be doing, and this is how I teach. Like what turned the page for you that made you go from being Swaggy C, the day trader who's like, yo, I'm gonna do this. This is how I'm gonna financially liberate myself, my family, Bailey, your new wife, all that, to being like, hey.
Dude, we married for 2 years now.
No, but I'm saying, but when you
man.
turn that page and say, hey, instead of it just being about like, I'm trading for us and the people right around me, to let me open this book and like share my knowledge with everybody.
Oh, I never wanted to share my knowledge. Not that I wanted to be a closed book, but I didn't think people cared. You know, like I just wanted to be a trader for me and Bailey, and that's it. And when I was posting my charts, when I was doing my Snapchats in 2017, before I even got on reality TV, people would ask me all the time, "Hey, what is this?" Okay, like because I was making 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month, and I had a 10,000 a month, then back to 6,000, and I would you already know me, I'm open, so I would show that, and they'd be like, "Hey, what's this?" You know, as a 21-year-old or a 22-year-old doing that. So I would, teach them for like $20, for like just that's it, for like just me teaching them. So I had that background, but I never wanted to like really teach people because I didn't think people cared. The people who came to me and said, "Hey, what's this? I want to learn." I love people who come to me and say, "I want to learn about trading or business in general." I will talk their head off about their future and not even bring up mine. So when like 5 people are coming to me in 2017 saying, "Hey, can you teach me how to day trade?" I'm like ecstatic, like this is new to me. So fast forward to this year, when I quit the challenge and I started posting it, on social media, I didn't expect hundreds of people to be like, "Hey, I want to learn this. This is no different." I put it out on Instagram and put it on YouTube, and then over time, like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people were like teaching me how to trade. So once I did that, I said, all right, I'm just gonna make a course and put it out there. Because I can't. It's only one of me. I can't teach every single person individually. Whereas 2017, it's only 5 people. I don't have the money I have now. I don't have a wife. I don't have Velvet, my dog. I don't have none of that. It's just me living with my mom and my brother. That's it. So I can teach 5 people. Now I can't. So I was like, all right, I'll put videos out on YouTube, and then I'll put like more in-depth, information on my program, and then just see what happens. But my end goal was never like, yeah, when I get great at this, I'm gonna start a course. It was never that. It was just when I get great at this, I'm gonna dip off with my wife and we're gonna go somewhere and have a mansion, and that's it. I guess the cards just turned out that way.
So actually I have a question about your transition from reality TV. Like the challenge was your last show.
Yeah.
And you kind of had that like euphoric coming to God moment in the helicopter where you're like, I don't want to do this ever again. Like, leave
I don't
me
think it was
alone.
in the
Don't ever call
helicopter
me.
he had that moment.
No, it was on the roller, what's it called? The rocket ship, like
Okay,
50 feet in the air. Yes, yes.
And so when you got back home and you were like, all right, you hadn't like officially announced it that you were done, but internally you kind of knew. Were you scared?
You know what's crazy? Today is the 28th. 2 days from now, on the 30th, will make a full year since I got eliminated on the challenge. November 30th is the day I got eliminated. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Because the 29th was when Bailey and Fessy won the competition, and they threw me in. I told them, like, throw me in. I want to see if I can get my red skull or whatever. But when I was competing against Corey, I, like, halfway in there, I'm not going to say, like, I lost on purpose. I don't want to ever, take away or undermine his victory. He beat me flat out. But halfway up there, I was like, yo, I don't want to do this. Like, you see me twisting and turning and then just sitting there like, all right. Like, in my mind, I swear I was in my mind like, all right, it's Corey, are you going to win yet? Like, if not, I'm going to end up, like, winning, cool. But, like, I didn't mind him winning. And then when he won, I sat down once they unstrapped me. And people think I'm just, like, thinking about the loss. I'm like, damn, I just blew it. I swear on everything I love, I was like, all right, when I get to this hotel in Prague, I'm gonna, call my brother and call, Caitlin Herman and then call Bailey's family, and then I'm gonna go home and then I'm gonna go straight to stocks, Forex. I don't wanna hear nothing about the challenge again. And then I got up, Corey came, I hugged him, I talked to TJ, bounced. And when I left and passed that little segue where you can't see it, like the people up there can't see me no more, I was skipping to the car. I was like, I hugged, the producer. Hey, she's like, hey, great show.
Never again.
I swear, I forgot her name, but she was just like, hey, great show. You did so great. I'm so proud of you. I'm like, thank you very much for the opportunity. And blah, 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 blah. She was like, yeah, we'll see you next summer. I was like, okay, cool. I got in the car. I'm just like,
okay, cool.
Bro, I'm never doing this again. I don't want to. You know what I mean? So I wasn't scared. I was actually more excited, to try this out because y'all know me. I like adapting. And for me, it's like, yeah, I have what I have now, and it feels like, I can't go back to where I was. And you can easily blow it all, obviously, as people have before, but no, starting something new is always exciting to me. Like starting to get better at basketball and starting to, do the Snapchat stuff and starting, going on reality TV for the first time was exciting. And now putting my all into something that I've been doing for 5 years, I feel like God is just slapping me in the face, just like, yo, you've had this thing since 2015. This is the one thing where there's no time limit to. Like as a reality star, you get to 35 and you're like, all right, what am I doing? Like, am I still gonna be on reality TV? Unless it's my show. Like Johnny Bananas is still on reality TV, but it's clearly his network, his show. If I was in his position, I'd do the same thing. But if you're anybody other than that, you know, even Wes Bergman, but anybody other than them, at 35, what am I doing? Playing basketball overseas. All right, I'm 35 and I'm not making too much money overseas. All right. Even in the NBA, people don't really make it to 35 except a select few, the greatest. So it's like everything I was doing, and Snapchat just came alive, but I don't think Snapchat's gonna be here 20 years from now. And even if it is, it's getting, you know, watered down and out, you know, against by TikTok and Instagram, because Instagram came out with the 15-second videos, which basically killed Snapchat at the time. So I was like, everything has an age limit except Forex and stocks and being an entrepreneur. And I feel like God was slapping me in the face, making me lose every single, you know, everything else. And this thing was one thing that I kept getting better at. Like I was blowing accounts. All right, 3 years later, 10,000 a month. Okay, 4 years later doing this. And now here, and I wasn't scared to really answer the question. I was more excited, so.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like entrepreneurs, like true bred entrepreneurs, kind of have that mentality of when a transition comes, it's excitement rather than fear. And because normal people, when something new comes up, they're scared.
Yeah.
Because it's uncomfortable. And so I thought that was super interesting, because I know a lot of people that would be scared to close that door and then start something completely new.
I think most people are. I think that's why the close friends I have right now who watch my life will write me all the time saying they admired me, not because of what I did, but because I took the risk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people know me, I'm never scared to fail. Like, I don't love failing, but I am one of those people who believe that if you fail, it is a lesson. Like, I read a book in Tool of Titans of, I forgot, some entrepreneur who said, I think it was the guy who created PayPal, not Elon Musk. I know he started PayPal, I believe, but somebody else. He said, why do you think failing gives you a lesson? It's just a waste of time. You don't learn anything, and you just, all that stuff. I don't believe that. I really feel like every time I failed, it taught me something that I could, you know, make sure to avoid the next time over. So when people write to me saying they admire me because, like, I took the risk, I try to teach people, hey, take the risk. It doesn't have to be trading. It could be anything in general, but take the risk on your dream. Because what do you want to do? Like, work a 9 to 5 or something that pays the bills but you hate until you're 70? No, like, it makes no sense to me at all. So I think 90% of people are scared, maybe 95, to chase their dreams. And that's why when we made that execution video, I made that a priority to be like, hey, what is your strategy in terms of being successful? It's not day trading. It's not, you know, it's literally execution. I executed on day trading. I just went 100% all in. That's it. Like, it's as simple as that. And people are scared to just go, you know, in that route. So
let me ask you this. I see this parallel between, and it's meant as a compliment, but I see this parallel between you and Jay-Z, right? And the parallel that I see is that, I don't know if you remember, Jay-Z had a line where he said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. And so what I see is a lot of people forget that, like, your name's not actually Swaggy, right? Like, that's not your government name.
Yeah.
I call you that, and I've known you for years, but like, that's not your government name,
Not at
right?
all.
But you somehow turned Swaggy into more than just a nickname, right? You turned it into a brand. So then not only did you make Swaggy C a brand, but then you turned around and took the brand that you made, Christopher, and you made that into the Swag Academy.
Yeah.
So how did you even come up with the name? Like, when you said, hey, I'm out of reality TV, I'm gonna start teaching people about Forex trading because that's my future. How did you decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna use the Swag Academy? Like, how did you even come up with that name?
So for me, Swaggy C came from Nick Young. Like, when I was doing my Snapchat Swaggy C vlog, current statuses, you know, Nick Young was obviously an NBA player and he had the Swaggy P name. So when I was 2012, 2013, I was like, all right, I'm gonna call myself Swaggy C, you know, just cause. I think it was 2014 actually, I started calling myself that because I went through a traumatic experience with my ex, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna rebrand myself. And I started calling myself Swaggy C. I didn't think I'd get famous, you know, where I'd be like, all right, damn, I did take somebody's, you know, nickname and change it a little bit, you know what I mean? So I got to live. I didn't think I'd get huge, you know what I mean? I thought I'd be rich, but not where, like, I'm in the limelight, where it's like, hey, you have Nick Young's name. Duh, I know I do, you know what I mean? Like, he has Swaggy P, I have Swaggy C. But as far as the Swag Academy name, I still hate that name to this day. Like, I hate the Swag Academy. Like, Wes Bergman told me, because Wes helped me start the academy last year, and he told me, like, I think he said something like I had to have your name in it or something to just stick around.
So for the people who don't know who Wes is,
Yeah.
Wes is from a connection you made from reality TV.
Yeah, from reality TV, and we both lived in Missouri, and some random fan was like, hey, you got to meet Wes Bergman. He's on the challenge before I got on the challenge, and I guess he's a big star of the challenge, and you live 10 minutes away from him. Why not meet him? So Bailey DM'd him and was like, hey, can we double date with you and your wife? He was like, sure. Hasn't not watched Big Brother. I never watched the challenge. We go to dinner, and Wes's wife, Amanda, is a yoga teacher. Bailey's a yoga teacher. So they're in their own world. Wes owns businesses. I want to start businesses. We are in our own world. So a 1 hour dinner turned to 6-7 hours. And we ended up leaving the restaurant because it closed and went to a 24-hour restaurant to just finish the conversation. And we just talked about business, and we just talked about, I told them that, that I'm just a trader, and Wes was just like, well, what if you started teaching people how to trade? I'm just like, I don't want to do that necessarily. You know what I mean? I just want to trade. You know what I mean? And my Instagram and social media at the time was reality TV. But months later, we went, like, after the challenge ended, we doubled down on that because, like I said, I started posting about it and people started asking about it. So I was like, yo, people are actually asking about it on social media. Mm-hmm. Why not give it to them? So when I came up with the Swag Academy, like I said, I hated it because the Swag Academy it just sounds, people love it.
Business names are hard though.
It's hard. It
really
sounds
is,
weird. Like I look at, OVO with Drake, I'm like, damn, that sounds cool. I look at Astro Effects, like, damn,
Right.
that actually sounds cool. Wall Street Academy, damn, that sounds dope. The Swag Academy. It sounds weird, but that's what I came up with.
See, I think it sounds weird to you, right?
To me,
I think it drips. Like I think it drips.
I was
like,
actually gonna call
when I
it-
see it, I'm
it
like,
ties into making Forex cool.
I'm like,
It does
yeah,
a little bit,
yeah.
but I was actually gonna call it Swag University at first, and I ended up choosing the Swag Academy. Like, I was gonna be like, all right, Swag University, blah 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 blah, and then I ended up choosing the Swag Academy. But
You know what? I think for me, I see this dichotomy between like who you are and what I think when I think of something. Like when I hear academy, right?
Yeah.
I think preppy shirts with ties
Me too,
and
for
sweaters.
sure, for sure.
And I'm like, ha. But then I see you and it's jogging pants and t-shirts and backwards hats.
Yeah.
So I think like that's part of what makes it play, because you took something that has historically like this like hoity-toity like super whatever academy,
Yeah.
and then you literally put swag on it. So it was like, yo, you made like that dichotomy, say, hey, even though I'm teaching you very valuable lessons up here, and this is what, the information I'm giving you is this level of information, I'm just like you.
We're gonna make it relevant.
And I got that drip, so it's like, I love the name.
yeah, no,
Like,
everybody,
I love the name.
no, like the Swag Academy obviously stands for like, learning how to better yourself, whether it's day trading or investing, but you got to have some type of swag to you. Like it's swag, the Swag Academy is swag you see. You got to have some type of drip. It doesn't mean clothes, because everybody knows me. I don't like to make long decisions. This is why me and Austin don't have long meetings. Like I took the Mark Zuckerberg approach. I don't wear different clothes. Like I have 10 of the same black shirts in my closet, 10 white ones, 5 red ones, and I got a bunch of joggers. Now I do have a bunch of different shoes, you know what I mean? Like I do have a bunch of different sneakers, and
You're literally wearing 2 different shoes right
you see it, right? Got the red one right here, and then the yellow one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Did they sell those together?
they did. These,
Oh,
these
wow.
are new. They just released. Like I said, I have shoes and I have my chains, but the chains is different. I can just throw them on, cool. The clothes, like, damn, do I want to wear Gucci today? I don't got time for that. You know what I mean? I like to keep it really simple. But the Swag Academy is about drip and swag, but it's your own swag in your own way. And my own way was wearing do-rags in my videos. I'm not the prototype, I guess, guy in a suit and tie on a chalkboard, 55 years old. No, I'm a dude from the hood who learned how to do something great. I got a do-rag on. This is my authentic self. And I think people just relate to that, and why they love the Swag Academy, because I don't really apologize for anything. I'm just who I am. You take it or leave it,
Swag, I think that's so important, because that's what I see when I see the Swag Academy. I don't see you as someone not relatable to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? I see that, the 45-year-old guy who's going through something looks at you and goes, hey man, if this kid can do it, I definitely can do it.
Yeah.
And then I also see the little kid in the hood, like where I grew up in Chicago, he looks at it and goes, yo, so I can live in a penthouse and drive a Tesla, but I gotta sling yay? Like,
No,
yo,
correct.
this is like, I mean, that's a move, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And this is a move that like a lot of people wouldn't be introduced to if it didn't come in the rap that is swaggy,
Yeah.
right? Because if I turned on a YouTube channel and I just saw somebody with a suit and tie and a chalkboard and whatever, I'm not gonna click on that
Even
video.
not so suit and tie, yeah, but even not even that. It's people who look just like me who try to do like they see like the formula and how like entertaining I was. They try to do the same things and it doesn't work. Like people try to copy me. They copy my thumb. Like me and Austin see it day by day. Like I was the first one to have all these crazy creative thumbnails, and now everybody in the trading industry wants to have these thumbnails. I'm the first one to have a secure the swag type of episode format showing my life when it comes to this. Now everybody else is doing the exact same thing.
So you have. I mean, I'll say I've seen a few, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a few just because I'll try to put in your video, and all of a sudden I'm like, this isn't Swaggy's video.
exactly,
Like, whatever.
exactly.
So would you say since the success, people that were in the space before you are now trying to copy your formula?
Every single one of
and
them.
Just trying to catch up.
Every single one of them is trying to copy, and like I said, there's only a few that I actually respect. You know, I respect Astro FX. That's why I'm collaborating with them on something dope in LA. I respect Quillian, and me and Quillian have never really, you know, we follow each other, but we never really talk, but I respect him heavy because I know when I was learning in 2015, he was already that dude back then. You know, he, at this point, like he can still grow and he's amazing, but like at this point, he done been in this industry for 7 years at this point. He was already the man in 2015, 2016. So I respect him and I respect another guy named Carter FX, but everybody else, they just copy, they don't give me my credit. And that's my problem, because I just named 2 examples. I can literally run down 10 of them, but they don't give me my credit. If they would hit me up personally in the DMs like, hey, yo, you changing the game, I'm just trying to be like you and make something out of myself, I have no issue. That's me and Austin we never copy nobody. You know, I know they say, what is it, good artists copy, great artists steal or whatever, but people are actually stealing. And when me and Austin see somebody with, you know, a good idea that we want to emulate, go to any of our videos that we've done that, we only did it once, we give them credit at the end of the video. We did a day in the life of the millionaire and we saw it from Ricky Gutierrez with the money counter throughout the video. And I was like, yo, that's such a dope idea. I did the video and at the end of it, I said, special thanks to Ricky Gutierrez for, you know, giving us the idea to do this. If anybody would just do that to me, like, yo, thank you Swaggy C for inspiring now all my thumbnails, or doing a Secure the Swag show, or being a hyper when my previous videos were just like, hey, how you doing? Now I'm touring my place and talking all crazy. I have no issue. Nobody's doing that. They're all acting like it's just them when no, I'm the one who changed this Forex industry single-handedly.
So I think a thing that you don't even realize that you do, right, Swaggy? What you have is this unique ability to give credit to everyone, right? And I think that's just because it's just built into you. Because like even just listening to you talk, habitually, like most people in your situation, they would just say, look at the empire I built, look what I've done this, right? Smart people credit their team and they say, look, and I've never heard you say anything that happened with the Swag Academy and not mention Austin's name. Like it's, yeah, me and Austin, we, the team. Like, so you're constantly giving that credit to other people to say, hey, it's not just me, it's the people around me.
Yeah.
So I can see why that burns you so much when you see people just blatantly stealing your ideas.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, just shoot me a DM and be like, yo,
At
like,
least
thank you, I
something.
got it from you. Like, I see why it eats you up, because you're like, and you don't even realize you're doing it, but you are always giving other people credit. You're always saying, hey, I got this from you, or I got this for you, or we did this together, or, you know what I mean? That's how your mind works. And I think that's part of what leads to your success is because of that. I will say I did see, and I hate that I don't remember the guy's name, I saw a whole video on your thumbnails by somebody, but he was giving you credit. He was like, yo, he's like, this guy actually has super dope thumbnails. Like he's changed, and he said he's changing Forex game, and I was like, bro, you late? Because he is. Like,
it's already changed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's game over.
Yeah, I know everybody watches my channel, like everybody in the industry, maybe except, you know, no, I think everybody actually in the industry watches everybody does.
Just
they know what I'm doing right now. But no, I like to give credit, you know, because I feel like people who put you in a position or helped you deserve the credit, which is why the person who deserves the most credit out of all of this is Bailey, you know, my wife. Like when I met her, you know, I told her I was a day trader and she supported it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop day trading for a little bit to try this reality stuff. and she supported it. And then we got to a point where reality TV wasn't hitting, and the whole situation with the basketball game happened, and we lost about $40,000 worth of deals, and we got to a point where it's like, all right, like we're sort of struggling because we had guaranteed deals, and they all pulled away because of some stupid scandal. And she was right there supporting me through it all. And then I started this academy, supporting me through it all. Like I can't give enough credit to how much of a rider Bailey has been throughout this entire experience. So that's why when it comes to this, people are like, well, nobody's like anything. I'll do whatever for Bailey, whatever she wants. Like, she wants this, great, you can have it. This, great, you can have it. And money isn't everything, but I feel like she deserves to live that stay-at-home mom lifestyle, even though she wants so much more. She wants to be a superstar, but she deserves to have that option. And I told her when I first met her that I would give you the option to either be a superstar or a stay-at-home mom. You will not have to work if you want to. But going forward, she deserves a lot of credit. And even with Austin, like I tell Austin this all the time, like before he came here, you know, we were doing, you know, great with the academy. I was doing great with trading, and I was doing it as like a one-man team. But I couldn't have got here like how successful I was if he didn't come to the team. Like, and Austin knows me. Austin knows I'm a visionary. Like this is uncomfortable, but I was in the shower and I was thinking like, okay, what if Austin was on the team? Like, okay, what if he moved out here to, you know, LA? You know what I mean? Because I thought about showing my life, and I texted him. I remember when I got the shower, I was like, yo, how do you feel about moving to LA? And he was like, boy, don't tempt me like that. Just like that. Just like that. And me and Austin, we didn't have like a concrete relationship before all this. What's crazy is, you know what's funny how God works in mysterious ways? When I first started the Swag Academy, he had no idea about it. I just hit him up and said, yo, I need a logo and an intro for YouTube, because I knew he was good with videography. He got it to me like the next day, and that was it. Didn't talk to him for a few months after that. That was it. And then I'm like, all right, how would you feel being a part of the team? This was like 5 months later. And we just realized like last month that he like, when I watch my own videos, Austin did create this, and he created this. So it's funny how it turns 360. So I give credit where it's due. I don't want anybody to think that this was just me, because yeah, people were watching me before I had anybody, but they come back now for the level. Like, the information there is dope, but the level of quality is different. That's really how we changed the game, because if I didn't have like, you know, Austin to kind of change the game in terms of the quality, I would get the views regardless. But nobody would look at me as changing the game. I'd be a regular person, like, yeah, he's doing iPhone videos and doing X, Y, and Z. Because like a lot of my views, I got like 200,000 views off like my iPhone propped up ones. But it's normal. A lot of people in the trading industry have a few viral videos on YouTube that's regular. But once Austin came and they saw the consistency, Austin came when we had 30,000 subscribers. Now we have 200,000 in, what was it, 5 months, 6 months? So 170 in 5 months. So I owe a lot of my success to, you know, myself, Bailey, Austin, and people who believed in me at a certain. I don't ever try to say, yeah, it was all me. I'm not that type of person.
So let me ask you this, Swaggy. So obviously, with what you've done now, elevating to new levels, life's getting, I assume, much better. You know, from the outside looking in, it has to be, you know, an assumption, but I assume it's getting much better. But I want to go back, because I remember conversations that we've had.
Yeah.
And I know I kind of kept trying to impart on you, like, bro, you're doing well. I believe in you. But make sure that you're spending enough quality time with Bailey.
Yeah.
Because I know you, and you're one of the people that I know that I can, like, if I'm like whatever at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can literally text you and be like, yeah, he'll probably hit me back in the next couple minutes, because I know you're up. Yeah. And I was like, bro, this man does not stop working, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, you got a new wife, bro. You gotta, you know, make sure she's good.
Yeah.
I can understand. Then it was, you know, stressful, and you're like, yo, I'm trying to make it, I'm trying to grind, I'm trying to do my thing. Now that you've reached the point where, like, hey, you don't have to, and I don't want you to take it wrong, because I know you're like, yo, I work hard every day, that you don't have to work as hard as you did in the beginning. Do you find that you're able to make more time for Bailey, just personally, outside of Forex, just you guys relaxing, chilling, vibing, getting to enjoy each other?
Yeah, I find myself, you know, trying to make some time with her. I actually feel like I work harder now than I did back then, which is crazy to try to retain it all. Like, I worked hard back then, but when you're broke, you don't have a wife, you know, I want to travel and X, Y, and Z. But now that I have it all, it's like, all right, I got to maintain it. I got to make more. So I feel like I work a lot harder now than I did back then. But no, I realized that, you know, it means nothing if I have all the money, I don't have Bailey with me. Like, it means absolutely nothing. Like, God forbid, knock on wood, me and Bailey get a divorce tomorrow and I have 10 million. And I'm just like, no, like, this is meant to be shared with her. She deserves to live this lifestyle. We deserve to be together. So whenever, her love tank, we obviously follow the 5 love languages heavy and go by it. Whenever her love tank is low, because I'm working so long, like I don't have a problem being like, all right, give me 20 more minutes and I'm just gonna stop and I can come back to this later. Like there's no complaints or like you gotta wait an extra day. Nah, I told her like the night we got married, or not married, engaged and went to the Big Brother hotel they had for her. I told her that I'm gonna make sure I take care of you. Like that means that I'm gonna take care of all the bills. And I remember when that situation happened, we got into a little argument because she was just like you told me that, you would take care of everything, and you're not. I quit the day trading world to be in reality TV. And she kind of checked me. She was just like, I don't know why you quit being an investor to be in this reality world. This reality world is fake, you know what I mean? And that's when I had a long conversation with myself. I think I watched the Conor McGregor, a Notorious documentary, and like just seeing how, Dee, I think that's his girlfriend's name, or fiance's name.
Yeah.
His wife now, right? Yeah. How she was there for Conor no matter what and always keeping his head on straight. That's basically what Bailey was doing for me. So she kind of knocked me back into this world, and I'm happy she did because I'm the happiest I've ever been. But you need that type of rider to always look out for you and be like it may seem hard at the time, but when you look back at it, it's like, damn, if she didn't do that, I would probably be trying to be a reality star at this point, trying to get my first win on the challenge so I can get $500,000. Like $500,000 is not a lot of money. Like, and I don't want to sound arrogant because I had this conversation with TJ, and you was there, and Brandon was there as well. Shout out to Brandon. Brandon's on the team now. I don't know if we introduced him yet. But perspective is crazy because I used to always think, $1 million was a lot of money. And now that I make a few per year or a little more than a few, it's not that much money to me. So when I'm like, all right, I want to be this big reality star, and then it's like a year later, no, I don't. I actually hate it. You know what I mean? So it's like perspective always changes. I don't want to sound arrogant when I'm just like, oh yeah, like, all right, I got the biggest penthouse in this building downtown LA. All right, I want a mansion now. Be grateful for what you got. All right, a million, for me right now, it doesn't seem like that much money, but like people work their whole life just to get $1 million. And I saw these reality stars were risking their whole, morals and characteristics for a piece of $500,000 or shared prize money. And for me, like I said, perspective just changed because I realized that wasn't me. So that's when Bailey checked me and brought me back into this world.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I know, and I know Austin. I've shared with Swaggy multiple times. I have this theory about bragging, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't think anyone ever brags. I think that bragging comes from the perspective of who's hearing the story, not who's telling it, right? Because if I told you tomorrow, like, hey, like I made $100 million. Well, guess what? If you're Michael Jordan, you're just like, cool, man.
Cool. Good job.
Congratulations. Like, yeah. That's good. That's good for you.
Right.
Meanwhile, if you made $20,000 last year, then you'd be like, yo, why are you bragging? Like, you know what I mean? So it's not that I'm telling you any different information. It's just your perspective of it has changed, right? So I think, how have you noticed your perspective has changed as you've elevated not only yourself, your brand, just kind of like your entire lifestyle? Because like, let's be real, right? Like, you didn't start off on top, right? Like you, your brother, your mom, like y'all were struggling.
My dad, like I said, my dad raised me for 14, 15 years before we made the transition to my mom. But yeah, we struggled. Like we moved, I think I went to 16, 17 different schools in 8 years, and we moved like every half a year. I was always a new kid at school. We was on like, food stamps and like just always struggled. I remember like, we wouldn't have any food on like the 31st of the month, and my dad got paid on like the 3rd, and we'd have to wait, you know what I mean, for 3 days until we really ate. So we were just eating like, I think eggs, for those 3 days, or just something, or rice for breakfast, lunch, until it happened. And like you said, you don't start off on top. I think that's one of the key elements to being successful is trauma. Like I look at trauma as something that makes you never want to experience that again. And that's one of my reasons for being successful. You talk about, my 2 ex-girlfriends that cheated on me. Like I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna make sure that like I become something of myself. Like being poor growing up, like I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I'm never poor again. People laughing at the high school tweets I made saying, I'm gonna be the richest person to graduate from this school, and like, no, you're not. And I put it in my high school yearbook, that's something similar. And I remember being in the yearbook, like the committee flat out at a meeting, and somebody was just like, who's most likely to be successful? And success, it's what's the word? Like not perspective, but like it's opinionated. It's all, you know what I mean?
It's quantitative.
It's subjective. Yeah. So like, it's all subjective,
But I remember my boy had nominated me, and the whole room laughed. Saying, I swear on my dad's grave, like the whole room just laughed, saying, "I don't see how Swaggy's gonna be the most successful. Like, there's no way at all. Let's just put him most likely to get married. He's with his girl, been with her for years. He's not even in the conversation for most successful." And that's when I tweeted that day that I don't care about all these people with 7.8 GPAs and all that stuff. I was, being funny, but I have a tweet. I don't care about people with 7.8 GPAs. I'm going to be the most successful.
Killing it.
How do y'all do that?
Yeah, right.
That's MIT. Right.
Literally. So, no, perspective does change, but I do think trauma is one of the reasons why I became successful. Is that I realized I didn't start out on top, and I'm gonna make sure that I end up on top. Because I say this all the time. It's a quote that I obviously didn't make, but we all have heard it. Like, if you were born broke, it's not your fault. If you die broke, it's 100% your fault. So we all have the opportunity to change it.
I think your perspective has to change though, because it's like what got you to 100,000 didn't get you to 5 million. What got you to 5 million isn't going to get you to 100 million. So it's like your perspective has to adapt to what you want to achieve.
So let me ask you this, because you always talk about multiple streams of income, right?
Yeah.
So you got YouTube going on, you got the academy, you talked about merch. Haven't seen merch in a while. I mean, that used to be a staple of the Swaggy C brand. Like, anyone who knows old Swaggy C, like, Swaggy C wore a shirt that said Swaggy C, and if it wasn't on you, it was on somebody else. You know what I mean? So merch was always a thing. So I assume we're gonna have merch coming soon.
Yes,
right?
merchandise will be dropped. Hopefully, by the time this interview comes out, honestly, it should be up and active. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, with all those things and all those different kind of avenues that we have revenue coming in on, Forex is your staple, right? Why did you choose Forex over the stock market? Because everybody knows the stock market. Everybody talks about the stock market. Mm-hmm. No one talks about Forex to the extent or this degree like you've elevated Forex as opposed to saying, hey, just invest your money in stocks.
Yeah, so I'm kind of both. So I do invest in stocks, but as far as day trading, when I was broke, day trading Forex was a lot easier than day trading stocks when I made sure I checked both scenarios. Like, the Forex market is open 24 hours a day. Stock market's only open 8 hours a day. The stock market, you got to have a minimum of $25,000, or you can only trade 3 times a week. The PDT rule. Forex market, there's no limit. You can start with as little as like $100 and still trade 20 times a day. It's not like, I wouldn't recommend that, but you have the option to. You can sell. You can't really sell in the stock market. There's like restrictions on most traders. You got to buy first and then sell. Whereas the Forex market, you can just look at the market. Oh, it's dying. I'm selling it out the gate. You don't have to have anything physical to sell. So there's so many, reasons why I chose Forex over stock. But the biggest reason was I was broke and I couldn't afford, that whole PDT rule. And it was like, all right, I'm just going to be a Forex trader. And it's crazy. I don't even like saying I'm a Forex trader because Academy done gave it a terrible reputation. All these MLMs, like, that's why when anybody asks me what am I say I'm a day trader, I'm a currency trader, I'm an investor. You will never hear me say I'm a Forex trader, ever. I would never say on YouTube because it already has a bad connotation because of these MLMs who are like, hey, you're broke, you need to join my team. Mm-hmm. I don't pressure anybody like that. Like, these MLMs ruin it for everybody. That's why I call myself a currency trader or a day trader or just an investor, period. But no, I chose the Forex market when I first started out because of, the situation I was in and how easy it was. And people don't know too much about the currency market, but they use currencies every day, even more than stocks, by traveling to different countries. And the Forex market is more liquid than the stock market. Like 6 billion or 6 trillion, I'm undermining that, per day is traded, where the stock market is only 22 billion. So it's like, or 200 billion, I forgot what the math is, maybe 200 billion, but I know it's like a significant difference. But people don't just know about Forex. But when I first came up, it was like, all right, this is clear, I'm gonna go this route, so.
All right, so Swaggy, we've been hanging out here. I feel like this penthouse is just full of love. Like, you can see, feel the love. You got the giant tree in the background. Mm-hmm. It's an energy. It's a whole vibe in here, right? And I dig that. I like it. It's great hanging out. Which brings me to my next subject I want to talk about, because there's nothing that makes me think of love like hate.
The exact opposite.
And the exact opposite of all that love. Like, cause right now I'm embraced by it, but I'm like, yo, you've caught a lot of hate. You've caught a lot of haters, both in, your personal life as well as, through Forex. Like, let's talk about the haters a little bit, cause like we don't have to say them by name, cause we don't give haters shout outs. But let's talk about the haters for a minute and how that affects you.
Yeah, I don't think it ever affected me personally. The whole basketball game, I felt like people were calling me something I'm not. But as far as hating me for like my life or my lifestyle, I've been hated since high school. That's why my yearbook quote literally says, "I'm the most memorable kid you will ever come across in your life. Whether you love me or hate me, when you say my name, you will have a facial reaction like Chris Williams. Okay, either instant, or instant, all right, like he's cool, you know what I mean? Or love, which is the same thing. And then I get to college, I'm the same way, you know, and I'm swaggy now, and I'm crazy, I'm a battle rapper, and I'm all this extra stuff. And like I said, you love me or you hate me. So like I said, I feel like I've been dealing with hate for so long that when I got in the reality world and I got all this hate, it didn't surprise me. It surprised me when the hate was filled with racism a little bit, you know what I mean? Or a lot of it. That's what surprised me. But now, even with this Forex industry, it's like everybody's so quick to hate. Like, people copying me, hate. People watching my videos, hate. It's like, bro, if you can take the time out of your day to comment on one of my videos or watch my videos and hate it, and make like, there's people out there making review videos of me and it's pure hatred. You just set up a tripod for 20 minutes and went in iMovie and edited 5 hours of your life on a video of Swaggy C. That got you 10K views, so congratulations, pat yourself on the back for getting a couple views on your terrible channel, and because of my name, that's your most viewed video, everything else is a couple hundred. Congratulations. But I don't pay attention to it. Like, I'm just like, all right, like that's what you wanted to do in your free time. When hate comes my way, I don't pay attention to it because I'm too busy, you know, focused on my own grind and my own success. I know where I came from. I know, like, talking about documenting, I literally opened the door, or the door was half open for my mom and she was crying because it was like a $60 bill. Like 5 years ago, I'm just like, we can't afford $60? Like, she's stressing over that. Nah, I gotta make something of myself. And they can hate all they want. It doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect my trading, doesn't affect my bank account, doesn't affect my wife. I'm living a pretty good life, as you see, so I care less about what people gotta say about me.
So Swaggy, let me ask you this. Let's end with this. We've got a brief history of where you've been.
Yeah.
We know where you are right now.
Yeah.
We see where we are right now.
Yeah.
What's next for Swaggy C?
To keep it really short, next is me and the team being very creative and scaling this all the way up. Because we have 10 different ideas right now, and I know if I say them on camera, every single YouTuber is gonna try to do it before us and call it their own idea. Not happening. We're gonna do it, and then you're gonna try to copy it, every single idea that we have, and you're gonna know it's us, and the whole YouTube community is gonna know it came from the Swag Academy and their entire team. So what's next is I'm going to order some food tonight. I'm gonna go to bed with my wife, put her to sleep, then get back up and grind at 2 o'clock in the morning and continue the journey. Because just because I have what I have right now doesn't mean that I can just relax. Like I told you before, I work harder now than this right here is work. I work harder now than I did when I was broke. But you'll see what's next when 2021 comes. Because 2020 was a crazy year and I made the most of it. And I do feel sorry for everybody affected by the pandemic. Because I understand, like, what if the pandemic was 4 years ago when I was with my mom and my brother struggling in Connecticut? Like, can you imagine the pandemic was years ago when we were young or younger? Different, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you were successful a few years ago, but imagine the time where you were in Chicago and you weren't. Can you imagine the pandemic then? It's just like, damn, all right, I'm blessed to be in a situation I'm in where, like, my job in life doesn't require clocking in. Nobody can fire me. YouTube can't fire me. The Swag Academy is mine. My own trading cannot stop unless all foreign transactions halt. You can't go to Japan no more. You can't go to all that halts. Everything I do right now does not depend on somebody higher than me. It's my own. I'm an entrepreneur. So I find, you know, solace in knowing that. But I do feel bad for everybody affected by the pandemic. But what's next for me, I'm hoping can be next for them, meaning learn from 2020, like I did. Like, the whole point of this whole interview, audit and move on. And in 2021, don't put your same hope in that same 9-to-5 job that just laid you off or just cut your paycheck in half with no care in the world. Start looking for your own dreams and push towards them. So I know in 2021, me, Austin, Bailey, and Brandon aren't taking no apologies. We're gonna work, you know, 24/7 overtime. We're gonna create the best product out there, and people are gonna look at us like, damn, they really don't stop. They really work hard. And hopefully it motivates people.
Swaggy, appreciate you sitting down with me. It has been absolutely incredible.
Man.
Appreciate you taking the time. You're an absolute inspiration
I
to
got
so
no
many
more
people.
water.
Yes,
Austin, Brandon, you know, you got an incredible team around you. Bailey, of course, big shout out to Velvet, who, you know,
He was in timeout because he peed before this interview on the floor. So he's been in timeout with Bailey, but.
But, I mean, congratulations. Obviously, I celebrate your success. I can't wait to see what the future has in store for you. I wish many blessings upon you and your team. And, you know, I can't wait to see what the future of the Swag Academy has for everybody.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, not just the Swag Academy program, but everything we have going forward, where it's, we may even start a whole new business that got nothing to do with trading. You don't know what we got planned. Like, a lot of things going on right now that I do want to end on this note, I do want to make $100 million in my life, and that's not going to come from my direct trading. That's not going to come from the academy. That's not going to come from YouTube. That's not going to come from merchandise. It's going to come from 2 or 3 different things that got nothing to do with the foundation. I'm always going to have this foundation, whether it's like YouTube. I'm always going to post videos on YouTube. I'm always going to be a day trader. I don't know if I'll always teach, but it's a thing for now, obviously. But I know to get to that next level, it's going to be something completely different. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to keeping you guys around so we all can elevate together. 2025, let's do this again and see where we're at 5 years from now.
Scary.
It's going to be very scary.
Scary. 5 years? Yeah, this might be a 2021.
I'm gonna be 30.
Yeah, I was like, we just might need to do this again in 2021. Like, yeah.
I'll be 30 years old.
That's a long time from now.
It's a long time from now, but I'll holler at you guys.
All right, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Rap City.
Rest in peace, memory cards.
I gotta talk about the.
I don't even know where he's going with this. Oh, the camera's still working. What's up, man?